I mean, I really appreciate feedback as a person, and genuine feedback and constructive criticism also. I really appreciate that. While at the same time, hatred is something I do not tolerate. I mean, as in tolerating, I don't deal with it exactly. I try to work upon it. It always pushes me to do better, but I tend to ignore it most of the times.
Hello and welcome. The world is yours for the taking. Let's talk about dreams, aspirations, challenges, and triumphs of the next generation on my youth talk show, Say Something with Mans. And we are just getting started with our guest today, Raiza Goel. She's joining me from Chandigarh. Hi, Raiza. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm so glad to have Riza today. She is a change maker. We will get to know her through the interview, and I want Riza to introduce herself. Riza, tell me about your childhood, about your schooling, where you did it from, about your dreams, aspirations, passions. In short, who Riza is. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm Raisa Goyal, and my pronouns are she, her, and I like to go by that every time just because of how aware we're becoming of this culture. But I would start basically from my childhood. I am from Chandigarh, and I've studied in Kamal Convent School, Chandigarh, which is one of the most prestigious schools here, and I'm proudly associated with the school. And I'm currently serving as the assistant school pupil leader at my school, and I've been a lot engaged with my school. And continuing further, I would like to talk about what I want to do in my future. So, from around third, fourth grade, I've been really interested in diplomacy. And I think third, fourth grade is a really young age to discover this. But
Yeah.
I think
So, don't even know the meaning of the word diplomacy. So, what did you do to understand that? You were very like you would come between fights and solve it, or talk about people. Yeah, what is it?
I think so. I'll be very honest. From the very beginning, I was told that with the kind of analytical brain I have, I should do something like UPSC and go serve in the Indian Administrative Services. But it was the Indian Foreign Services that inclined me. But now that I don't hope on giving UPSC further, I discovered another alternative way for me. Not back then. Back then, I still wanted to do something related to foreign affairs. And that's how the interest started. Then I came to international relations, worked in a lot of research, which is related to international relations with youth think tanks, obviously, and nothing very formal. But then Model UN came in, and that's when I knew, okay, Model UN is the thing for me, and United Nations is my place. And that's where I would like to go.
Hmm. So you dream of being. So do you know that UN has never had a women secretary general? You could be one in the future.
Yes,
So
I'm aware of that. And it really troubles me to see this, but I really hope that one day that
yeah.
changes. I'm pretty sure it will actually.
Super. What a journey it would be to see you there. And I am sure that you would be there with the kind of work which you are already doing. So let's talk about the first thing, which why I connected you with you is about the work which you have on plastic, a UNAP's plastic tide turner champion. What you have an award by this name. So what is this plastic tide champion? Where did it start from, and how did you go on to talk about plastic waste? Where did it start
Okay,
from?
this is very interesting because it'll make no sense to you at first. But I was part of the organization called National Cadet Corps. And
Yes.
when the COVID pandemic just came in, all of the activities were suspended. And
Hmm.
obviously, you do a lot of work while you're there. So,
Hmm.
our teachers, so like our mentor for the program, wanted us to do something productive. And she introduced us to this challenge, which was plastic tide turner. When we first saw it, it was like, okay, this is not something that interests me at all.
Huh.
But when I further went, when we had to calculate our carbon footprint, all of the waste collection, and how it was really impacting, that's when I got to know, okay, this actually makes a lot of sense and people need to be aware about that. That's when I I've also made like 2, 3 videos on that and have it gone to very third world countries in Africa, Southern America, and actually directly help the people there by designing plastic modules as well.
You did that sitting during the pandemic? Oh my God.
Yes.
So wow. So what was the project? Even we think a lot about plastic waste reduction, but what did you actually do to get this thing off the ground? Like it was a thought. You read about it, then you started doing what? You spread awareness about reduction of plastic waste. So how do you calculate carbon footprint daily basis? Share some examples.
I mean, calculating. So now, since we're living in this world of technology and AI, it's not at all difficult to calculate carbon footprint. If you like generally surf on Google, also you'll find accurate indicators by all of the well-renowned organizations. You can easily do that there. However, the main problem in the world right now is not even how to manage this plastic, but the generation of it in the first place. And if you're not aware on how to ban this. So, I mean, that's the root cause. So, what we did was basically identify the root cause and the areas which affected it the most. And that's how we started building the modules.
Oh, wow, lovely. NGO is called Educating the Educator. So, when did it start? What is the journey of
Um,
this NGO?
Educating the educators actually started around when I was giving my 10th grade board exams, which is a
Okay.
very weird thing because most people
Yeah.
find it too difficult to manage both of them. However, I was doing a fellowship back then with the Young Leaders for Active Citizenship, and I found like minded peers. And that's when we decided that, this is going to be our thing. And when you're looking into all of this, I'm going to give you a very small example. I have web applications as one of my subjects, and it has employability skills, and there was a separate section under entrepreneurs called women entrepreneurs, and it baffled me because you can't classify entrepreneurs as either men or women. However, you're providing a certain category, and that's what inspired me in the first place. Okay, so if you are doing that, you are not having equality within education, and
Hmm.
since you are considering yourself educators, you need to educate yourself on today's issues. And if you're not
Hmm.
considering today's issues, I think something like the Gen Z does not
Hmm.
value people who do not value
Hmm.
them. I'll be very honest when I say that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's where the idea generated from, that we need to clear all the disparities in education, because education, as you know, I mean, you're an educator yourself, you will know that education literally gave wings for people to fly, and we just wanted to be the wind beneath those
Those things.
wings.
Yeah, I understand that. Yes, education, of course, is the most important tool in everybody's hand. But tell me about actually what work you do. Do you train young girls only, or is it open for boys also? So, what is it that your platform does?
So our platform is basically working right now with identifying the problems, as in, so we have divided all the curriculums between like the core team, and um, out of those curriculums, we are finding books that have problems and then reporting them to the publishing houses and trying to get the authors to change it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That good. Oh wow. Some examples, please.
I mean,
Anything which. Huh.
we have not reached out yet, but I mean, our main concern right now, once we have identified all of our problems, our first target audience is gaining the support of students who obviously feel that this is incorrect to them. So this is very hard. I mean, I can't be explaining my plans out here just for the discretion of the group.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
hope that is a little understandable.
Okay, but you have people working with you. Do you lead the team? How do you take out time? Because next year you're going to be in grade 12. So what? How does this platform run without
Um,
you, or do you have a people supporting you?
we started off as a group, but now we're all working on individually with each other's ideas.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
as an entity, we're collective, because it
So
is not feasible for us to all of a sudden waste time when we can actually discover much more.
So you have people across, like it's not only from Chandigarh, you have people from
Oh,
other states.
we have people from all over India, and that is what's really helping us. And they're all from different curriculums, and
Oh, okay,
we're
okay.
searching right now. That's our main focus.
We'll talk about this off camera. Maybe I'm interested. All right. Okay. So there is something interesting which I read about you is Girl Up Tri-City. What does this mean and what is this? There are so many things on your plate. So let's take one at a time.
I
So what is
think Love Tri-City has
this?
been my heart and soul for the past 2 years. I mean, so Girl Up campaign is basically founded by United Nations Foundation, and then Girl Up has its regional affiliates, and our regional affiliate is Girl Up India. So
Okay.
Under Girl Up India, we've established Girl Up Tri-City in Chandigarh. So it's a Chandigarh-based Girl Up club, and
You
we
started
have
that?
yes, and I did that
Wow.
rally on my own with absolutely no external guidance, support, or mentorship for that matter, because I was just very passionate about the issue, which is feminism.
Mm,
I was so passionate about it that it just drove me. It never struck
mm.
to me what I'm going to do, but I knew that I had to establish it out there.
We can talk about this a little more. It's your passion. I can see it in you. Talk about this. So you read it about this in a UN website, maybe. Then you saw that there is an India chapter. Then you wanted to do something for Chandigarh. So what did you start? What you read about it? Yes. Then what?
I read about it, then I knew that a lot of us are so passionate about feminism, like even my friend group in general. So I knew that a lot of people will be interested in joining my cause, and I know they'll come and support me if I do this. So, I mean, there's obviously one person who needs to take that initiative, and
Mm,
eventually everyone will follow. So, I wanted to be that light. And as it is, nothing in Chandigarh was similar to this before. And Chandigarh has a lot of marginalized areas, for a matter of fact, which are like actually quite well defined marginalized. So, it was very
mm.
easy for us to get a target audience.
So what
And
you do, Riza, do you go there and talk to them?
we do both actually. We do online advocacy as well, but we've had a couple of in-house drives also, and
Hmm.
we've actually grown since that. And what our club basically focuses on right now is period poverty and equal access to opportunities.
You have webinars and forum and talks
Yes,
periodically. How often it is done?
um, very often on that level, because if you're talking only about the members, I have around 70 members in my organization now,
Wow. So
and
many
still
people.
growing. So
Huh.
70 people who are really my age, it becomes very hard to manage them at times. However, I think I'm not giving up this easily. And with
Great.
those kind of people, I've designed various projects now. Like, as I already mentioned, then we're also going to be focusing on gender-based violence, then
Mm.
genital mutilation, and all of that coming in further. And about the talks, we have it like once in every 2 months from a professional, like
Mhm.
someone who's really trained in that field. And I would really love for you to come and have a talk with the members there also. And
Okay.
if
Thank you
it's
so
about
much. I was
general,
just, ah, hmm.
if it's about
Yeah.
general discussions, that's something we have on a daily basis.
Okay. So where do you see it growing, Riza? Gulab Tri-City, where do you want to take it? What's your dream about this? What's one thing you want to achieve? And then you
I
say
mean,
that yes. Hmm.
when I started it, I wanted for everyone to know, okay, so this is the thing that is really impacting other people. And if you want, you can join it, and this can be your thing to impact other people as well. And that's
Okay.
exactly what happened. I will not, I mean, I was honestly surprised when I was known by the name of Girl Up. Okay, so this is Riza. Oh, Girl Up, Riza.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
You became that popular because
I
people
mean,
want
not
to
exactly
associate.
popular, but my name and Golak in Chandigarh definitely are not two separate entities. They are really not.
Wow. And all this, you reach out to youth through Instagram?
They reach out to us either by WhatsApp, Instagram. We open forms for volunteering every now and then.
Okay, okay. So people look up to that you're doing something, and then the chain started forming. And you said you started it in 2 years back.
It's going to be 2 years this June. So we started it in June 2021.
Wow. So you, this is your most pet project, I would say, that which
Yes,
you
I mean,
start.
uh, even if I say I can't choose anything, I think Girl Up has just that one thing for me that I can do anything for it. I can really.
That's your identity. That has become your alter
That really
identity.
has become my identity for sure.
That's amazing. That's amazing to have, forever. It's a legacy. Like you started this in Chandigarh, wherever, whichever part of the world you are, you have started it here first time. So that's something really great. I remember getting on to one topic, which getting onto that line where you said that criticism is something a lot of us have to face at this age. Even when you're talking about feminism, if you're talking about equality, uh, people are there to always talk and always pull you down. So
Yeah.
do you feel that in your area of work and you are a pioneer in a lot of things, so you had to face a lot more of this criticism?
Yes, I would definitely agree to that. I mean, the kind of criticism I face, I think now that I'm very used to it, I can easily identify why people have a problem with me at times, and I've come to peace with it. However, in the initial phase of when I started working and I was receiving a lot of criticism for my work, was basically because of the people who either had a problem with me directly, which I've stopped really caring about now, or even if in the area of work, it was due to their personal beliefs. And obviously, people can have a lot of personal beliefs, and I, as a person, respect that. But
Hmm.
what I am representing is again something very social, and those are beliefs of many people, so they need to respect that also. And if they can't, I am ready to face criticism to any extent, as long as I know I'm right and I'm not morally wrong or ethically wrong.
Hmm. Raisa, when you talk about this, I can feel that there has been a lot of angst or a pain which you felt initially, that why am I being targeted? I'm doing something for the world at large to making it better in the way I want to do it. So people are very quick to pass judgment. Do you think it is more because of your age or gender? Or do you think if somebody else who is elder, like in their 30s or 40s, they achieve something, people say, wow, okay, he is a change maker, let's call him for the talk and all. But if you are a young Gen Z trying to do something, you are looked upon, ओ ये तो थोड़े दिन करने वाली है, फिर तो वो तो चला गई, मतलब ये
Exactly
तो खत्म
that.
हो जाएगा,
We're
ये
not
तो एक
even
फैड है. या ओके.
we are not even considered serious. We're like,
Correct.
okay, acha, is it like only for some time? And then, she'll eventually leave it. It's like that. People don't even consider us as doing something which is actually evident. They're like, okay, this is just another habit of theirs which they're going to pass down on very soon, which is actually really sad. For a person like me, I mean, it's just really sad for a person like me.
I think I think it will make you go stronger. Like मुझे मुझे जवाब देना है, फिर मुझे और strongly से करना है, कभी छोड़ना नहीं है, because people want me to fail.
I mean, that's how it was initially in the first stage. But after a certain period of time, I think people is something that the least you care about them, the least they'll affect you. So as as I mean, I really appreciate feedback as a person, and genuine feedback and constructive criticism also. I really appreciate that. While at the same time, hatred is something I do not tolerate. I mean, as
Hmm.
in tolerating, I don't deal with it exactly. I try
Hmm.
to work upon it. It always pushes me to do better, but I
Hmm.
tend to ignore it most of the times.
Um, Raza, I will little probe this a bit to tell me what kind and exactly in what words people try to criticize you. What is it that they pass judgment on? What lines did they say to you?
I mean, there's no people who say that directly. It's through people and people alone that they're quick to
Okay.
intervene. So I've known so many people, especially something like Girl Up is focusing on intersectional feminism. So it's like the boys of the so Chandigarh is a
Oh,
city which is very connected and everyone kind of knows everyone.
I can understand, huh? So
Yes, so
this is like what is she trying to do? Why is she trying to
do this.
stir something which is already never spoken, hidden? Some, huh.
And instead of perceiving as a notion to uplift girls, they're perceiving it as a notion to hate boys.
True.
So something
Mm.
like that.
So do you think you have boys or men who are who are more vocal about this, or it's the women or the girls? So
Both of them actually. It depends on what you're saying. So if it's girl up, definitely the men. If it's schoolwork, definitely the girls. And if it's a personality in general, it's definitely the girls again. But
mm,
it's a mixture of both at the end of the day.
so do you what do you do when you have this kind of people pointing fingers at you and saying ye kya kar rahi hai, kyun kar rahi hai? Where do you get this courage and their conviction that do you get support from your family as well?
Um, so I'll be very honest with you. Most of the people
Yes.
don't appreciate me because I'm a very straightforward person. I cannot go around wasting my time gossiping to people that this is what she's done or this is what he's done and this is how I'd like to do something about it. I'll directly go on the person's face and I'll be like, I don't need to talk to you because you've done this and there's no further conversation needed. That's my way of dealing with people, which is actually quite impolite at times. But at the
Yes.
same time, if I have backing of some people, I tend to do that.
It's very courageous to just go and be the bad person. Maybe you are people perceive you as very arrogant, people perceive you as very people, you have no manners to talk. Okay, this is what you get. You
It's
see
not
this.
about manners. However, I do kind of have a reputation about how I'm very rude and arrogant at times.
Yes.
But of course, if the people know me well, they know that I'm really not like that. Until and unless you do something to me, what I'm trying to say is that people who know me know really perceive me well, and those who don't, they know that if they talk to me once, and I'm never the one who begins fighting. And since I'm very emotionally sensitive at times, I tend to say sorry first every time. Every time.
Right. I can understand that there is a hidden emotional, soft, sensitive person behind this rough and tough exterior. It usually is. I remember being very similar to you whenever people used to perceive as arrogant, rude, but this is something which you do as a defense mechanism not to get hurt. But when you get hurt, you are alone inside the room. How do you, as a young girl, what is your coping mechanism when you are under the scanner, people are judging you, people are speaking about you? How do you come out of this phase? What do you do to come out of this overwhelming phase when you are hurt?
I'm not really the best at expressing my emotions, so I definitely do not talk to people. However, I think a lot, so I analyze all of the stuff that has happened to me, and then what I could have done, and what I shouldn't have done, and what are the solutions to all of these problems. And once I'm done with that, eventually I do not hang with things for a long time. Since I don't know, I have this
Move
really good
on.
habit of
Hmm.
not holding on to things, that I can easily let them go and not be like, okay, you say something to me right now, after like 4 5 hours, I'll eventually forget that you said to me. And if you meet me the next time, I'll greet you
Great.
pretty
Yeah.
fine.
And the more I'm talking to you, I can feel, yeah, it is a very big challenge when you are under the spotlight, especially if you have won some awards and if you are recognized. There are so many people who will talk bad. You can imagine you are at this age facing so much. Has it made you very strong to face any future challenges ahead? So you think at this age you face this would help you again, or rather than doing it much later in life, because people are going to criticize any which ways whatever you do.
I think with the kind of challenges I faced in this year alone has trained me for so much that I think after this, if it's words, I think no one can hurt me with anything they do or say anymore.
Really?
I really think that because I know once I do something, I really realize from it and I don't tend to do it again.
Raisa, when you are saying that you have faced a lot and you are a youth change maker, people are going to listen to you and people are going to see what is she gone through. So what is it you are talking about? Can you just Tell me, like, okay, who is it? What is it that they tell you about? It's about your work always, or about you as a person?
No, no, no. It's about me as a person also because I do everything till a certain limit. I don't indulge in anything apart from what I am interested in. I really don't. And
Okay, okay, got it. So it's mostly your peers, your friends, that age group.
you can say that, yes, like some of my friends have also been very supportive
Yes, of
of
course.
me and they know me as a person and they tend to get supportive friends of me only. And I really appreciate those kind of friends. However,
Mm,
with all these supportive friends, there have also been friends who've just
mm,
been friends for the sake of being friends, and I don't appreciate those people, and I've tried to cut them from my life. And that's what I suggest everyone to do, honestly. I know it's a very brave decision to make, but it's
mm.
worth the
Worth it
try.
not to carry those baggages.
But yeah,
Tell me that
yeah.
Razia, all this doesn't come very easy. There must have been somebody, some guide, some mentor, some hero in your life. When I say hero, I don't mean as a gender hero, means somebody whom you look up to, whom you can talk to. Who would that person be who guided you? Did you read something? Did you go and talk to somebody? How did you manage to change your mindset?
I think it's been my mom from the very beginning, very
Wow.
beginning. And it's not only why she's a hero to me, she knows where I go wrong. And even though and whenever I try to go wrong, she pulls me back to my track. And I've never honestly appreciated her for that because of
Yeah.
the some rebellious attitude in me at times.
It's
I tend
natural.
to tell her that whatever she's saying is wrong, when I know it's absolutely right. And she's always looked out for me. And I think it's because of my mom that I'm not indulged in anything except what I do.
Yeah, so there's a very thin line between crossing that line and being there, doing your work, but not, we don't realize it when you are young. But in the hindsight, you are looking and you're saying that your mom is your hero because we don't appreciate and we don't even say it. Your mom would be
I
happy
don't.
to hear
My
your
mom will
mom.
be very happy to hear this.
Yeah, I think this happens a lot on my channel when people say that I'm working all this, I want to dedicate to my father or to my mother or to my grandparents, who we never say, but they are our silent heroes in our life.
I mean, honestly, both of my parents, even like they've sacrificed too much for me, more than I can ever repay them back. I mean, I don't even know repay in what terms. That's how much they've
Yeah.
both sacrificed for me.
Yeah. Since this is also a candid conversation about relationships, what do you think about relationships with opposite gender? Supposing you are looking for a boyfriend at this age, how does that affect you mentally? Does that make you happy, or sometimes it becomes all too consuming that you move away from your direction or your focus? Does something like that bother you?
I think it does not bother me, but at the same time, so I think I'm very neutral about it. It is very time consuming, and you become much obliged to that person, and then it'll be
Yes.
obviously unfair to that person also if you're not about to devote that kind of time to them, which is why I've never indulged in it myself because I think
Mm.
I've had other priorities which are way important for me instead of moving into any relationships. However, I mean, if there is any right kind of person, I
Mm.
honestly wouldn't mind getting to know them either.
Raja, I will ask you something very honestly, and I was always keen to ask this to a youngster since the topic is about relationships. If a person doesn't have a boyfriend or the other partner, like supposing the boy doesn't have a girlfriend, are they looked up to as something different? Oh, you don't have a boyfriend? How come at this age? Why is that? Is it such a big issue that people talk about this? I am asking you because parents come and talk to me and say that, is there something wrong with my son? He doesn't have a girlfriend yet. He's in grade 11, he's in grade 12. And I find it very, very surprising that parents think like that. So, what do you have to say about that?
I
Do you
think
think
this is
people people want to be seen with somebody as a partner just to validate this
I think the question is very genuine, and it is the external validation which people actually crave. Okay, so now I have a boyfriend and now I have a
point?
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Okay, I've tick marked this off my checklist that I have someone. So I think if you
right.
find someone in that sense, it makes no sense at all to me personally. For me, I think I've honestly had my say on it, and for someone like me who has a lot of different priorities, a lot of people look up to me as someone who's not interested in all of it. And honestly, now that I've made it very clear, people have started respecting me because of my decisions.
Hmm. So suppose when and if you have some partner in your life later on, they know what they're getting into. They have to be passionate about your work and they have to know you in and out to know.
I
Yeah,
think it's not even passionate about my work. I think they need to be really goal oriented
supportive.
themselves.
So
I mean, I I don't know if I'm being very weird when I say this, but I think everyone should know what their goals in life are, and that goal shouldn't change because of some other people in your life. I mean, if it is probably just not the right thing for you at that
yes.
time.
Even then, if your goals shift as you change your life, but the goal is it's your own shifting. You cannot shift your goal
Yeah.
because of somebody else. You can have different
Mm.
goals at different
Right.
ages of your life. Right now you
Yes.
are doing something, you can change your goal. Getting into a beautiful relationship is nothing wrong. It can enhance you, it can help you, it can motivate you if you have a good partner. But more often than not, it is right now a distraction. Our parents have been saying this a lot, like okay, pehle pad lo fir relationship. But
Nay,
ऐसे
I mean,
होता
see, I'm going to be very honest with you. People have just made relationships as a way to find happiness in something external. And as for
yes.
Gen Z, the concept of relationships has really evolved.
Mm.
It has really evolved, and it's just not the same like it used to be. So
Yes, I think
I think
the
that's a major
millennials have a lot to learn from Gen Z. They are that generation, and of course, we are not even talking about our generation. But yeah, Gen Z is about what you are going to achieve. They are very clear now, and they're working towards it. Each one of them.
exactly. I think Gen Z has something which is very clear is that they know their first priority is themselves, and I think that's seen in a lot of cases. When you're in something like a relationship, you sometimes forget to prioritize yourself first, which
Yes,
I don't feel is
yes,
correct.
lovely. So, my next question, Liza, will be on the same lines. If you had to write a book on yourself right now, what would be the title of the book?
Okay. This is a very interesting question. It should be turmoil within tranquility. So I'm saying it the opposite way. Not tranquility within turmoil, but because
Turmoil within tranquility. Okay,
tranquility.
okay.
The only reason I'm saying it um the way I'm saying it is because you can pretend to be all at peace when you're me, but you're just fighting with yourself.
Mm, true. You mean to say there is never a complete peace in your mind? The state doesn't exist. There is always going to be something which is there in your mind. You pretend to be at peaceful place or pretend to meditate. There's a lot of pretensions any which ways in life. We try to be doing something which we are not. So that is the biggest cause of uh, the
I mean,
co-
the grass is always greener on the other side.
yeah, absolutely. All right. With this, there's a role reversal right now. Riza, you get to ask me a question. Let's see what you have for me.
Do you have any I mean, no, what do you say would be a characteristic that has taken you through so much in life and that has been there since the very beginning for you and
Good
like
question.
a lot in your journey for who you are?
Yes, it's very simple and very similar to what you are doing. In fact, I identify with that character that uh, I as I said earlier, that the one characteristic is complete self confidence in yourself. Whether I'm wrong, whether I'm right, whether I'm doing anything, doesn't matter who is saying what. I will do, I'm doing, because like this with blinkers, you keep on doing your work. That's all has been like so many things I've done. People say, why do we have to do all the things? And as you said, you want to achieve all, so that's a beautiful thing to have. You want to do a lot of things, but do not get carried away by what the world says. And I think you are doing the right thing, and I did the same. It came across, sometimes you cry, sometimes you fight, but have the self belief to get up in the morning and say, I'm the best. Thank you so much for asking this question. Is This is something which I look forward to in every interview. So, Riza, we have spoken a lot about your work, about the criticism that you faced, about your journey. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now? Doing what? What would Riza be doing, and where would she be? Where do you see yourself if you visualize?
I see myself at the UN, very simply that. I see
Ah,
myself as probably solving a world
different.
problem.
Yes. Manifest it every day, and definitely it is going to come back to you whenever you desire it every day. You speak about it every day, and surely it's going to happen. So, any parting words, Liza, for the listeners?
Well, I only have one thing to say, that you need to have that self faith in yourself, and when you have that, there's no one who can come destroy you. You just need to be you.
Thank you so much for being here, Liza. It was great talking to such youth change makers on my channel every day. Do subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. And with your love and with your support, this channel is going to grow bigger and bigger. And we have youth from across the globe coming and sharing their issues. And as I say every week before ending, please take care of your planet. We have only one planet, and do a little bit, a small thing to change, live sustainably, and you will see the whole world changes slowly. Thank you, Raisa. I hope you had a good time, and let's wind up. Bye bye.